Okay, now it says connected to chat. So it should definitely be up right now. At least that's what it says. Okay, that makes sense. I had to schedule it and then go and pick from the events that are upcoming.
Yeah, but it's still not live.
I mean, it says connected.
It says connected.
What does that mean?
Or does it say connecting?
It definitely says connected. It says connected to chat.
To chat. I don't believe.
It says connected to chat. I really don't understand this.
Connecting.
Now it did definitely say connected to chat when I looked at it last.
Zero viewers, which isn't right because I saw 4 people in the chat.
So what is it doing? I don't get it.
Okay, we have a bit rate. Okay, 2 viewers.
So is it live?
It's live for someone.
Can anyone watch this right now?
Someone's able to because it says there's 4 people.
Let me pull this up.
Yeah, Pyle can see it.
Okay.
No, Power Piglet says OMG kite stream.
Someone says transmitting code, 3 reminders for the price of 1.
That's yeah.
Oh, did we accidentally send out 3 reminders?
I have no idea.
Maybe.
It might send a reminder until we go live. Probably.
Okay, so we are live, but we just can't see. We can't see ourselves and we can't interact with the chat, basically.
That is how it seems.
Okay, we tried something new, obviously, because we haven't streamed on YouTube in like 2 years. And we were doing this like weekly variety talk show. And there is, so Twitch seems to have a very specific, and this is a generalization, but very specific user base where it's not very, every single time we streamed on Twitch, some random person would say like, give her a noogie or something. Is it still not working?
No, it's not.
But some people could see it. Right?
That thing is not this thing.
What is
They're
that
not the same thing. Because there are people talking in this chat that are not talking in that chat. So the folks in that chat don't see this chat.
Can we delete that chat?
I have no idea. I didn't.
What is that chat?
This is the event chat.
Is that?
But there's a separate live thing that is running somewhere.
Wait, can they see us?
I have no idea. Are you sure? Is this going to YouTube or is this going to like YouTube Gaming?
This is going to YouTube. Why?
Because YouTube Gaming is different, right?
This is not. This should not be on YouTube Gaming. I'm just very confused right now. So the event is... Oh, it's just because that event is live, but they can't see anything we're doing right now.
Correct.
So what should I do? Should I cancel that?
I have no idea.
This is so like confusing and weird. I don't know.
Cause look at your chat on there.
It says, OMG, it's live. Is this the right chat? Yes, this is the right chat.
Yes. So
I thought
they're
YouTube Gaming was dead.
okay.
Oh my god.
So they're in a chat.
They're in a YouTube Gaming chat.
No, YouTube Gaming is dead. That's correct. I can't get there anymore.
Can you guys hear us?
Yeah, they can hear us. They can hear us and see us. But we can't hear and see ourselves. Nor do I know how to. If one of you would be so kind, if you're in our Discord, can you send me the link
to the
to this video? Because I have no idea how to see this video. It's not on our channel at all.
Where did this one go?
I have no idea.
On our channel.
Whoa, how'd you find it?
Where did this one?
So this is not the scheduled stream.
Okay.
Wait, yes it is.
How'd you find it?
So this is that.
Yes.
So that should definitely show up.
Scheduled stream.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, it is.
Oh mon dieu.
In my frazzling, my hair has become...
Okay,
wacky.
how about we stop it and then we restart?
No. Absolutely
Okay,
not.
but it's still not up there. So we can't see it.
Yeah, it will.
Okay, we'll definitely do
Eventually.
that. Anyways.
Clearly there's some bugs.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I don't know how much of this was seen at all, if any. Okay, there it is.
All
Now
of it
it's
was
live.
seen.
There you go. Oh, but where's the chat? Oh, there it is. Yeah. Okay. Starkara said I scheduled 3 streams somehow. How did I schedule 3 streams?
I want it known. Flex does all of the tech setup.
Yeah.
Kite has all the accounts set up.
Also, this dress makes me look like I'm about to do a seance.
Well, good news. That is the theme of this stream. We're doing the seance.
Yes,
stream.
we're actually doing a seance. Actually, the reason I'm wearing a dress, this long dress, even though there is like a slit here, so it's not entirely...
Don't show them the slit.
It's not entirely
Don't give too much away for free.
Puritan, but because I hit my hand right here and I had to put a bandage on, so I didn't want people asking, but you probably can't see it anyways. And Pyle says it does look like a seance stream dress, right? Okay, so...
Should have made that text yellow.
Yeah, well, it's too late to do anything now.
Next time.
So
next time, do the Tarantino
okay,
stuff.
I know maybe you missed the introduction, but basically, why are we streaming on YouTube? Because Twitch has a lot of problems with a lot of their people being really creepy. And there's a lot of stuff coming out about all these creepy people on Twitch. So it's kind of got this...
It's got like a bad news vibe.
It has a bad vibe to it.
Yeah.
And we don't feel good, I guess. I don't know. Maybe they're dealing with their stuff. But also... Oh, look at that. We have 1 new subscriber. Already. Is this on YouTube? This is definitely not on YouTube Gaming though, right?
YouTube Gaming is dead by all regards.
So yeah, and so we thought, since I upload these videos to YouTube anyways, why don't we go back to YouTube streaming? Because we were on YouTube streaming at the very beginning, and then we went to Twitch, and
we were also on Twitch at the very beginning.
We were on Twitch at the the first day. We were on Twitch when it was called Justin TV. So to give you an idea of how long we've been doing this. But we do a ritual bathing in, the
Starting
moonlight.
Over. We like to start over as much as humanly possible.
We always like to start over.
Just like a good RPG, the best thing to do is 30 hours in, start over.
Exactly. Evan Lyon says, thoughts on Gamer Girl, speaking of creepy people on Twitch. Here's another thing.
Gamer Girl?
I have no idea, but Starcar says, where was Donkey Kong? That was on Twitch. Donkey Kong
OG Twitch
was the crazy days.
Those are the good days.
Those were the good days because we played
when everything
all
just
the
worked.
Games. Yeah,
everything was simpler and it worked better.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I yearn for those days.
That was much better. Okay, I definitely don't bathe in blood or milk just to shoot those myths down. Anya says, technically Twitch is an offshoot of Justin TV since Justin TV still exists. Oh, see, I didn't get that. Oh, okay, Starcar says, Gamer Girl is an FMV game. Okay.
Like Night Trap.
Yes.
I remember
so
Night Trap.
I saw something because someone posted in the trailer. So basically, you are watching this woman stream and she's like, hey guys, welcome to my stream. I'm playing Minecraft today.
Sounds pretty
But
normal.
you can choose what the chat says to her. It's sort of an interactive thing.
Oh, actually,
and so then you can
we should
also
stream
choose.
us playing that game.
That would be funny. But so it's supposed to be one of those choose your own adventure things, but it's live video.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Someone also said, what's your favorite flavored shampoo? We actually use different shampoo. I use a shampoo for curly hair, which you can see works so well. Okay, we have so many things to talk about. For those of you who haven't seen us live on YouTube before, what we do is we run through things that have happened in the week or things that we've seen. It's not at all political at all, so you don't have to worry about us being those individuals that are going to talk to you or preach to you with evangelical Southern accents.
I think that does lead into an item that's on our list.
What's that?
A podcast we listen
Also,
to. It also encouraged us to come to YouTube.
Emerald and Power Piglet, I just have to say hi because I saw them.
And Starkara, whoever that is.
Starkara, we know who Pyle is. Ninja Land says ghost.
You ain't wrong. They ain't wrong. Our list. So for those who've never seen this before, we have a list that we go through.
Every week we do a list.
Every
Movies,
week we do a
shows,
list, but we do not
games.
stream every week.
No, we don't. Okay,
So
we
this
haven't
lists some
streamed in
old
like
stuff
4
in it.
months.
Yes. This list has some old stuff.
It has some old things.
First item, medieval covers.
I don't even know what
do you
that
remember
is.
that? Okay.
Okay, the medieval covers is really good. That was the thing that was up there,
Yes,
right?
correct.
So this one channel on YouTube, if you look up medieval cover of Bad Romance, it's great because it's like, I want thine affliction and I want thine disease.
That's
And it's,
the way you just said
so
that made my
amazing.
skin crawl a little
Why
bit.
is that?
I don't know. Saying I want thine
Creepy.
affliction, I want thine disease.
That's disgusting.
Feels a little Catholic.
Yeah, that's awful. Okay, so that's that. Let's
That's
move
that.
on.
The Apple conference is on here. I don't think people even remember Apple did a developer conference. We're
let's
gonna move on.
just-
Do
yeah,
you remember the
move on.
Foundation trailer?
Foundation.
Foundation. This is
I have
gonna
no
say
idea.
whether or
What
not
is Foundation?
this was even the success. Okay, so you don't remember at all.
No.
During the Apple conference, they showed the trailer for the new show Foundation, the Isaac Asimov show. Trailer looked pretty dope. You still don't remember it.
Nope.
That's not good. Okay, we watched
It
a
didn't
movie.
leave an impact on me.
We watched a movie.
Oh, Red Celt said, we
Got
have to
it?
keep up
Yeah,
with the
gotta
chat
keep up
here.
with the
You
chat.
guys moved over to YouTube. Rio says, hi, friendos. I love that we still see everybody here. That makes me happy.
They all have
because
different names, though.
They all have different names, but I know who you all are because I know everybody. I got that loyalty point system in my blood. But yeah, so we're over here. We're gonna try this on YouTube because we were having so many problems on Twitch though. We just kind of gave up, remember?
Yeah.
So compounded with all the weird stuff.
I mean, it's not stuttering here.
No, it's not stuttering.
Same
no stuttering.
app, same internet, same
internet.
everything. No
Yeah,
stutter.
no stutter.
Just
That's crazy.
freaking Twitch.
Okay, continue.
Also owned by Amazon. Just saying.
Oh.
Okay, so next up on the list. Next up on the list is a movie we watched with Dan Stevens. Do you remember what it was called?
Yeah. The guest.
No, Apostle.
Apostle. Yeah.
But we should talk about the guest. I don't think that made it
Oh.
to the list.
Rezgam, yes, your name is still unpronounceable, but thank you for being here. It's good to see
It's good to see all these familiar
Yeah,
people.
so Dan Stevens.
Dan Stevens, my new favorite actor of all time.
who-
Handsome man
yes,
extraordinaire.
But what would everyone know Dan Stevens from best?
Beauty and the Beast.
Well, he played the Beast in Beauty and the Beast, but you don't get to
Legion.
see his face. Legion is probably. So the guy who played Legion,
Downton Abbey.
Downton Abbey, he was Fat Matthew.
That's nice.
What? That's what everyone calls him. He was Big Matthew.
Big Matty. Big Matty Dan
He was
Stevens.
Big Matty, but Dan
Yes.
Stevens. So we saw a couple movies of Dan Stevens. They are on Netflix. One is The Apostle, and one is called The Guest.
The other is called Eurovision, and that one is not good.
Yeah, so only go see The Guest.
The Guest is really the only good one.
The Apostle,
Could have been
if
good.
you like things to deal with cults, you might like it.
It's like a worse version of Midsummer and The
Wicker
Bees.
Man.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
But The Guest is way better.
yes. Wow, Star Cars is size 6, Matthew. Poor Dave.
I'm not even going to read what
What's
John
his
Hunter
name?
wrote. Dan
What's
Stevens.
Fatty Matty.
But you're going to read
That's
it.
funny.
We need to make sure, another note for us.
That is so small.
It's small, it needs to be yellow, and it needs to last longer.
Yeah.
It needs to hang
I
around
don't know
a bit.
why it doesn't last long at all.
Because I have the
That's
list
crazy.
up. I can't.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to hold the list?
I mean, I'll read the list.
Yeah, and then I will do. Here, you can have the pen.
And then
of
what will you
power.
do?
And I will keep the chat up just in case.
Longer?
Yes, in case
Okay.
we miss something.
Okay, so let's see here.
My phone doesn't die.
We're gonna skip that. Okay, Uncut Gems. We'll talk about Uncut Gems because we're talking about movies right now.
Yes.
Which was that movie that came straight to Netflix with Adam Sandler. Who Adam Sandler, if you guys don't know, is this actor who likes to do really terrible movies for fun.
Comedies.
But he's a really great actor because if you've seen him in Punch Drunk Love, he's phenomenal. He's great. That movie is just amazing. So, Uncut Gems, he plays a jewelry dealer who gets into a lot of trouble. And he's very outspoken and he's getting involved with the Jewish mafia in New York.
Something that should be mentioned is this entire movie is screamed. I don't
It
think
is
there's
very,
There's not a
very-
single spoken line. There's
No.
not one whisper.
No.
The entire movie
it's
is
all
screamed.
very typical. They
Except-
sound like Italians.
Except when he's talking about the opal to KG. He's like, KG, I'll show you something, KG. I
yeah,
got this
he also
opal.
has these big false teeth.
I
in
got
the
this
movie.
opal.
But
I love that movie.
so Rez Durham says Uncut Gems was a very uncomfortable film to watch. Yeah. I think Starcar had the same opinion.
So
right?
I loved it. I did not find it
I thought it
uncomfortable.
was-
I did not find it stressful. That's my kind of movie.
No, I thought it was hilarious because
Yeah.
of how much trouble he continued to get himself in.
It's very funny.
It is. So that's a good suspenseful
I
movie.
love that movie. It might be my favorite movie of the year.
He's such a good actor.
If you
too.
like Whiplash, you will love Uncut
See,
Gems.
I don't
Vice
want
versa.
to see Whiplash.
Whiplash is so good.
No.
I also love Whiplash.
I don't want to see Whiplash.
Sad. It's a good movie.
Crash Bandicoot 4.
Crash Bandicoot 4 got announced, and it actually looks pretty good. Did you ever play Crash Bandicoot?
No.
Man, you missed out on some marsupial platforming
I mean,
action.
it's neat though because they are doing games that were popular in the 90s.
Our childhoods.
You know, our childhood games, they're bringing them back, which I think are pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. I mean, we got like Final Fantasy VII, you know.
Yes.
There's a slew of remakes that are
Right.
happening.
And-
Destroy All Humans just got remade
Yeah.
today, came out. And like
So I
Crash
like
Bandicoot
this
4.
though because they have a chance to develop on these really great games.
Yep.
The story didn't have to end all those years ago.
I love Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, I didn't get to
The
play that
first
one.
3 games in Crash Team Racing, probably some of my favorite like platformers of all time. And the 4th one retcons everything that came after that, which is always a good sign.
Yeah.
It's always a good sign when you retcon things.
It is, especially if it wasn't well done.
Or Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Or Star Wars.
Wow.
Wow, just get to retconning.
Squadrons. Talk about
Oh.
Star Wars Squadrons.
Speaking of Star Wars, I am so freaking pumped for that game.
Yeah.
So pumped.
I never got into the Star Wars games.
No, you didn't, but I did. Super into them as a child and loved pod racing, loved Jedi power battles, loved TIE Fighter and X-Wing. And this looks like a TIE Fighter X-Wing in the modern era. And they actually just put out some gameplay recently. And it's not just arcadey, meow, meow. It's actually got like a lot of, you have to choose whether you power your engines, you power your weapons, or you power your shields. And based on what you put things into, your ship will behave differently.
And so it's multiplayer.
It's multiplayer, but it's also single player. There's a campaign. It's co-op, and you play as a squadron of 5 elite pilots.
Wow.
You go on missions.
And does this take place before or after Finn tells Rose to leave him alone?
I believe this takes place at the same time as Mandalorian, so it's
Okay,
post
got
Empire.
it. So all of this is going to write over
Yes.
the new trilogy, basically.
Basically, I think the new trilogy is going to be erased by Mandalorian.
Yes.
The new Mandalorian verse.
Something's going to happen that is going to invalidate
Yeah, I think. But like,
everything. You're going to see young Rey, and she's going to be out at some event with her parents and realize, oh wait, so this must be an alternate universe.
or like, you know, Baby Yoda like sees this vision of young
Yeah.
Rey and just like kills a random old
Yeah,
dude walking
that's
by and
true.
he's like, problem solved it is.
I don't think so. All right, let's talk about Grounded.
Let's talk about it.
Oh, this one comment, Rez Rim says, I wish Star Wars wasn't destroyed for me. I think a lot of people probably feel like, yeah, they wish Star Wars wasn't destroyed from them.
I
don't
understand.
know why.
I understand. So I think Star Wars is destroyed for you too, right?
I mean, I still love the original 3 movies.
Yes.
And my interest may, probably just stay around that because I like Han Solo and Princess Leia. Luke.
Old Ben Kenobi.
I like
Boba Fett.
all the stuff like that. But anything else, it's just, it doesn't, I watched Mandalorian, I liked Mandalorian, but I can't feign an interest beyond the amount of interest I've already given.
So what happened for me, because you didn't watch the prequels, right?
No.
Okay. What happened for me was, after Rise of the Skywalker,
Yes,
The
which we liked
worst-
though. Didn't we?
Yes.
No, we liked the...
Rise of the Skywalker was better than The Last Jedi.
Yes.
But only better in the fact that it was still a terrible movie, but just better than Last
It
Jedi.
was better than I thought it was going to be.
It has 2 redeemable scenes in it.
But it was funny.
Yeah. The Han Solo scene was really
The Han
good.
Solo scene was good. I liked that.
And then they kissed, which was
And then
good.
I kissed.
That was
They
good.
kissed.
The rest of the movie was garbage.
Yeah, it was not good.
Do you remember when I got sick?
Yeah.
After that movie came out? I rewatched all the prequels and I started watching Clone Wars and I watched the Clone Wars movie and I just felt like, man, Star Wars has been good this whole time.
Yeah.
I
It
just
took
was
you a long
ignoring
time
it.
to see it.
It took
But
me a
guess
bad
what?
Star Wars to realize how much I love Star Wars.
People in the future are going to watch the trilogies and they're going to like them.
No one's going to like the new trilogy. No one's going to like them.
I actually know someone who named 2 of their kids after the Star Wars characters.
Wow. Impressive. I don't.
I actually do.
I don't know.
Shall we move on?
Let's move on to Grounded.
Okay, Grounded. So Grounded is now out. Okay, so Rev Grimm says, original trilogy was amazing. Prequels made me lose interest. Disney trilogy destroyed it.
Yeah.
That's sad. That's like the degradation of a fan's interest in something.
I did not like the prequels until I rewatched them recently.
Okay,
now I
so,
love them. I
you
love
know
them
what?
as much as the original trilogy.
You know what, Rev? Give it 6 more years, buddy.
Go rewatch the prequels. They're better than you think.
Yeah.
They really are. So you remove a few scenes of Attack of the Clones, and you have a solid trilogy there. Anyway, Grounded.
Grounded is out. I don't know what studio made Grounded.
Obsidian.
Wow, Obsidian?
The people who made Fallout New Vegas.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So Grounded is great because it is a survival crafting game with story elements in it. So sort of like The Forest, like Fallout 76, like Rust. So it's got these same elements. It works the same. You break down your environment and you craft it. I'd say it's more so like Rust.
It's more survival, less story.
Right.
Whereas
Exactly.
Fallout 76 is more story,
There is
less
a story
survival.
there. You do have these predetermined characters. There's these 4 teenage kids, and they are
Super cool.
very small. Yeah, and they find themselves in this environment. So it's a really cool concept because you're really tiny, and everything around you is large. The weeds are big. The flowers are big. Everything is there. All the bugs are out. So when we played this, Ray says, I can't tell if there's a dog or duck on the carpet.
It's a duck.
Oh yeah, it looks like an optical illusion.
That's a duck. We have a pet duck.
That's
It likes to
definitely
honk
a duck.
around.
Honk. Rez, not Rev. Yeah, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, the game. That's basically it.
Basically, yes.
It's Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, the game. It's really fun though, so we got to play it, and
It's early access.
it's early access.
So we beat the story in about 2 hours
Right.
of what there is
This
available.
needs to be unlocked.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it. We don't need the. I'll watch the list.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Got it.
We can just keep an eye on the chat.
Got it. Untitled Duck. Yes, it's a work of art. Untitled Duck. I don't think she'll come over here. Luna, come here. Luna, honey, come here. People want to see if you're a duck. Come here.
Show them your duck bill. Aww.
Good girl.
Baby girl.
She's so tired. Okay, so that's Grounded. It's fun. It's a survival game. If you like it, I would say go ahead and check it out. If you have Xbox Pass, it should just be an easy download.
Yep.
What else?
All right. Do you want to talk about this one?
Because
that was pretty
yeah,
good.
but let's talk about it down the line.
Okay,
I gotta
okay.
work up to that point.
Let's talk about
Let's talk about more shows.
Yes.
Because we've seen Homecoming season 2,
which was fantastic.
which was great, which is on Amazon. It's original series based on a podcast, but it's the second season and it's chronological. So you have to watch the first season of it. But yeah, it's really, really well done. Super original.
The music is fantastic.
Yes, exactly. The music is great, but I really like the length of the episodes too because they're only like 30 minutes long, which is really hard today to find a show that has episodes of that length that you can watch and you don't have to kind of, it gets drawn out.
And we've talked about this multiple times. I really wish more shows were 30 minutes long.
Yeah.
It needs to happen. Like
It needs
the
to happen.
30-minute
We
show
need
needs
to
to
go
come
back to the old days.
Well, anime is all
when
30
things
minutes.
were 30 minutes long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like anime is better for being shorter. And the same is true
Yeah.
for prestige drama. There's no
Right.
reason that every show needs to be Breaking Bad level long.
Right.
You can do a lot more with less. And I think it makes for a more enticing and binge-worthy experience
Yes.
when it's quick and it's tight and it only shows you what you need to see.
And Pyle and Starkara have mentioned the main actress,
Janelle Monáe.
Janelle Monáe, a singer.
Yes.
So I don't know if this was her acting debut.
I have not seen her in
not.
anything else.
But she was fantastic.
She
You'd
really
think
was.
has been acting her whole life. 'Cause
It's
she
a-
did such a great job at it, considering the character she had to play.
It's a hard role. When
It's
you
a very
think about
difficult role.
and you,
Yeah.
you really can't talk about why it's hard without spoiling elements of the show.
Right.
But
all we can
know
say
this,
is-
it's not easy to do what she did
Exactly.
and pull it off.
Okay, yeah. Starcar says they need to make episodes as long as they need to be, if it's 2 hours or 30 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, she was in Hidden Figures. Oh, that's right.
What's
she
Hidden
was.
Figures?
It's a movie about. It's like based on a true story about black females in NASA that were working on the space program.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw
That's
it.
cool.
Smudge, come here. So yeah, Homecoming is great.
I also watched Juwon Origins
Yes,
on Netflix.
which was creepy.
I really liked it. That's another one that was only 30 minutes, I think.
And you have to explain what that is.
Yeah, okay. So firstly, never seen any of the Grudge or Juwon movies, although now I really want to watch them all. Juwon,
Well, you saw the American Grudge, right?
I've never seen any of them.
Oh, wow.
No, I've only seen The Ring,
Yeah,
which
The Ring.
I call that out because apparently Ring and Grudge have a fight now. So that's why I call it out.
Yeah, that's the Jason and Freddy of that universe.
Of Japan is two girl ghosts battling it out. Juwon Origins is on Netflix, and totally not what I was expecting. Firstly, it is the most like trigger warning show I've ever seen. The amount of just disturbing material in there is over the top, and it's not that it's gory or that it's overly sexual. It's just a lot of this stuff actually happened, and that's part of the premise, is that this Juwon house was influenced by some of the major crimes and things that were happening around Japan at that time. And just some horrible crime happened in
Yeah.
Japan at that time. I'm sure horrible crime happens everywhere. They just focused in on that. And it was just like, ooh, this is awful. But the presentation of the show, the level of just creepiness and the way that it's cut, it does the Witcher thing where there's multiple timelines and it's kind of
Right.
jumping around. But it's really jumping around, and there's a reason for it. And it's well done. I would actually say it's more like Twin Peaks than anything else. It's not like
I feel like Twin Peaks.
if you like the mystery and the weirdness of Twin Peaks, but also enjoy Japanese culture, that is the mashup, and it's really
and
good.
it's on Netflix.
And it's on Netflix.
So check it out.
check it out. You watched American Horror Story.
Yes, I watched American Horror Story season 10. Okay, so here's why. I've watched some shows that I wouldn't really watch, but I've been working from home and it's so boring just being logged on and not having the flow of work I typically would do when I'm working actually on site. So in the background, I'll just pull up a show and just have it running. It just plays through so I can kind of get through my day. It's like, oh, 1 hour a day. I got through, 6 episodes or something. So I watched season 10 of American Horror Story, and that show is so weird. I don't even know what you'd season 10, I'm sure there's people that know more about it in chat than I do because this is the first I've seen about it. But it's this show, it's based around this idea that there's an apocalypse, but also Satan and witches are trying to take over the world
I mean, that's the perfect time for it.
during the apocalypse.
I'm honestly
Yes.
surprised we don't see that in Fallout. Like, after the world goes to crap, that's when the witches need to come out.
Yes.
Your power is strong now. No
So-
technology to stop
Yeah,
you.
exactly. So Satan and the witches and the warlocks. So it's very satanic. It's very satanic for an apocalyptic idea, which I thought was interesting. So I watched that. Would I recommend it? If you want it on in the background, why not? It's weird. I don't know what more to say. It's weird. It's gory. It's weird.
Okay.
There is another show I've watched, I might as well say. I am now on season 3 of Penny Dreadful because of the same reason, having it on in the background. Penny Dreadful is this show that takes some classic horror characters like Mina Harker and Victor Frankenstein and Dr. Jekyll and some other people, and it reimagines them in 19th century London.
I mean, isn't that when they would be there?
Yes.
Okay.
And so they're all friends. And it's super gory.
That's weird that they're all friends. You showed me that scene of the puppet. That was cool.
Yeah, the scene with the puppet. Again, tons of satanic stuff.
That's where the good
Way
stuff
more.
is.
I'd say 90% of that show focuses on Satan.
I mean, we know what sells.
So
Satan
I've
sells.
seen so much satanic stuff recently, these shows.
Are you ready to battle the devil?
I battle him every day. I have the armor of Christ.
All right. So, I mean, you're prepared for Satan.
I am. I have to battle Satan every day.
Every day.
So basically, those are 2 shows. Watch them if you want some entertainment.
I've also watched 2 more shows.
We've watched a lot of shows.
But you know what? They're all kind of short.
Yeah.
Like Juwon's 6 episodes.
Right.
You can get through it in 2.5 hours. I watched Solar Opposites on Hulu, which is Justin Roiland, co-creator of Rick and Morty, solo show. So imagine Rick and Morty without the smart.
Didn't he also make a new show? Oh no, that's the creator of regular show.
Yes, which we haven't seen
We
yet.
haven't seen yet.
I actually really liked Solar Opposites a lot. I thought it was really sweet and cute, and it showed me that Justin Roiland is like the nice part of that relationship. It's I say sweet and cute. It's about like Third Rock from the Sun. If Third Rock from the Sun was like run by sociopathic aliens, but it's just these aliens that live on Earth, and they don't understand Earth, but they've brought this apocalyptic creature with them, and they have to keep the creature happy, so it will destroy the Earth one day. But it's actually like really cute and funny.
So it's a little wholesome.
It's a little wholesome, but the coolest thing about the show is not the main story. The 2 kids in the show go out and shrink people and collect them and put them in their wall. In their walls is this giant glass menagerie of shrunken people. So they end up forming a post-apocalyptic Mad Max society within the wall.
Huh.
And what ends up happening is this side story starts taking up more and more time each episode.
Yeah.
And then eventually you get to an episode that is just the people in the wall
That's
story.
funny.
And it turns out to be this huge action movie
That's
within the
cool.
show. And it was really
That's
cool.
creative.
I loved that. That was actually better than the
We
entire
like
show.
when shows do creative things.
It was very creative and I enjoyed it. I started watching The Last Dance, which this is like, you'll never expect this on this stream. The Last Dance is a documentary about Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Dennis Rodman from their 95 to 98 Chicago Bulls era basketball like hot streak.
Yeah.
It's so well made. I like basketball okay. I don't really keep up with it or anything, but I can watch basketball. It's the only sport that I can tolerate. I also love Space Jam.
Yeah, basketball is the best of all the sports.
It is the best of all the sports. Totally agree.
It is the most active. In football, they work for like 15 seconds and then they take an hour break.
Yes.
That's not work. Plus, football, they're constantly getting hit in the head. A lot of football players have mental injuries and can't recover from that. So
yes, there's a lot of head trauma. The thing about basketball, like when you watch Jordan run up the court, like literally, this man has a gait.
Yeah.
Like he's taking 6-foot strides on the court whilst dribbling a ball, and then just effortlessly throws this thing. And like,
Talented.
if I threw it, it would go the most incorrect direction ever. But he just effortlessly swooshes it like a raindrop into the net. And it's the most amazing thing. I love it. It's a really good documentary. I've only watched the first episode, but I definitely want to watch the rest.
Another documentary.
Yes.
Called Mucho Mucho Amor.
Mucho, 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 mucho,
mucho amor. So if you knew, if you grew up in anywhere in Latin America or South America during the 70s, 80s, 90s, the early aughts maybe even, you might know who Walter Mercado is, but we are a couple of gringos. We hadn't ever heard of Walter Mercado growing up, but apparently I asked my friend, she grew up in South America. I said, do you know who Walter Mercado is? And immediately she's like, yes, Walter Mercado. He was always on in my grandmother's house. We couldn't even speak while he was on the TV. So Walter Mercado was a Puerto Rican astrologer who rose to fame like in the 70s and 80s, and he was so popular that like he was over in America. Regis Philbin was interviewing him. He was on talk shows over here, but he was this very, very flamboyant, non-binary,
Very androgynous.
right, individual who was just super popular
And positive.
right, and really positive too. Just all of the, what's it called? Your horoscope.
He would read the horoscope. He'd go through every single
Right.
zodiac sign, but only
Yes.
give the good.
Right. It was only good things that were going to happen to you.
And it was
So-
like all attainable things. Like
Exactly.
you can achieve your goals today if you go out and decide you want to do them. Like,
Right.
Like,
Which
yeah,
is
I need that
basically-
horoscope in my life.
Yes, that's true. So if you want to learn more about Walter Mercado, just see a really fun documentary on Netflix and learn about this person. It's called Mucho Mucho Amor, so I'd look that up.
Twisted Bishop says he was the Latino Liberace, and that's exactly what they said in that show.
Yeah,
like,
he was.
when we started
Latino
watching it, I was like,
Liberace.
he kind of reminded me of Liberace.
Yeah, just very, very flamboyant, but in such like a fun way. He just seemed like such a sweet guy.
Rev Fury
So,
Fox
yeah.
5 says that he remembers.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yes.
Okay, so you remember. Thank you. How cool. So now we have someone who knows. Yeah, so you'll probably all know someone if you have a friend of Latino background who knows Walter Mercado. Ask them, make them happy, and then watch the documentary. Okay, what next?
Okay, so do you want to talk about Downton Abbey at all?
I watched, for the same reason I said earlier, I watched the entirety of Downton Abbey apart from the movie. That show is so ridiculous.
I caught
It
a
is
couple
so
moments of it.
Ridiculous.
It
a
seems
British
very boring
soap
to me.
opera. I enjoyed it. I'm not going to say I hated it. I obviously enjoyed it.
You watched 6 seasons of it.
I will
Binged
say,
it.
yes. What's her name? Maggie, the one that Ben de la Creme did.
Oh, Maggie Grace?
No, who is Maggie? What's her
Maggie.
name? Her name is Maggie. She played Professor McGonagall. What's her name?
That was with a G.
Sorry guys, I'm
I'm
trying
getting
to
it.
keep up with the comments, but they're like disappearing from the screen quicker than I can read them. I do see Bishop said,
Maggie
Smith.
Smith.
Thank you. Yeah, Maggie Smith. She was fantastic. The lines that she said, I just want to. I wish that people still spoke in that flowery, insulting language. I love it. I think it's great. I would have listened to just watch a show of Maggie Smith playing the Dowager. But other than that, Downton Abbey is so dramatic and over the top, and
It looked just
it
incredibly
just
dry.
looks dramatic.
Very dry. We've also been watching.
Or Dowager, right? That's her name, Lady Dowager. I don't even know her name.
Yeah, you know the Dowager. That's like from Skyrim. You had to
the Dowager.
fight them in the crypts.
Yeah.
The Dowagers.
Now what?
We've been watching I'll Be Gone in the Dark,
Yeah, so we started watching I'll Be Gone in the Dark,
which is still going on right now.
right. It's still going on. We've seen a couple episodes, but that is based on Michelle McNamara's book about the Golden State Killer. And Michelle McNamara is she was Peyton Oswald's wife. She unfortunately passed away, but she was a true crime amateur sleuth. So she ran a crime blog. She looked into cold cases. And it was really her passion, like so many of us, because true crime is like an all-time high spike. There's podcasts, there's shows, everything.
Everyone's into it.
Ever since Netflix did Making a Murderer about Stephen Avery,
And I would also say when
even maybe before that, but it was
the
very underground.
Serial.
Yes, Serial. So Serial and that just kind of boosted it, and now true crime is such a popular. It's such a popular. What's it called?
Just genre. Yeah.
But you have to realize these are actual crimes. You're reading about actual
Yes.
things.
It's
because
horrific.
It's horrific because when you say, "Oh, I have a passion in true crime," and this is something Michelle writes in her book about. I've read the book. I haven't finished it yet. It's really good. But there are certain people who are called, I guess. They have an interest in this, and it's not. And there are some people, I'm sure, who are really creepy and not. They are very insincere about it, or they do it out of some it's a fascination to satisfy some weird thing. But the rest of us, we want to try and figure it out. We want to try and see, did someone else miss something? So this whole book is about the Golden State Killer, who was the most prolific serial rapist and murderer in California. And so she does such a great job of tracking down and finding out who it is. So the show is basically on that journey. It's very horrifying.
It's horrifying to see.
It is horrifying that this man was able to hit a house one night, another house, and he wasn't caught. No one knew anything about it. He wasn't caught for years. He wasn't caught only recently. After Michelle passed away, she didn't even get to see who the man was up until up until her death, because this is how recent it is. And it wasn't even because of police investigation. It was just because of a DNA match on like Ancestry.com, which is terrifying.
Was
to
that
think
caused
about.
by citizen sleuthing?
No, I think it was just because his DNA had already been up. They had a suspect, But this confirmed once they got So because all of the rapes were happening around the time where DNA was not a thing.
I'm excited to watch the rest of the show because it's one of those things where it's just mind blowing when you see like this little Sacramento town and they're buying locks, they're buying guns, they're getting trained, and it's like it does nothing.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Nothing.
It's
this
terrifying.
person is such a criminal, like psychotic mastermind.
Yeah.
Like he was able to just completely subvert any security or defense or anything.
They even had citizen watch of neighbors going around. It just nothing
worked.
Nothing worked.
Nothing
which
worked.
is terrifying. To
It's
think
terrible.
about.
Yeah, and I feel like even today with all the cameras and tracking and everything, that kind of person is going to just power through that.
Right.
If they're intelligent and just demented enough to do it.
Right.
It's really scary.
It is very scary. And now, briefly, while we're on this subject, so I don't have to bring it up later, I was listening to, I have another cold case podcast that I listen to. Well, I'll read some of the comments. Duffman says, look at the murder rates during the 70s compared to now. The U.S. was rife with serial killers and rapists. Yes. And even before then, if you go and you read through like missing persons reports, there's so many people just disappeared. So H.H. Holmes, everyone probably knows him because he's like the big first really satanic serial killer who had the murder house, and he killed hundreds of people. If you went away, a lot of the people that he killed were immigrants, young immigrant women that would come over to the U.S. You would go when you were 18 to the U.S., be sent there. Your parents would never hear about you back home, and that was just, oh, she must have gotten married and moved away. No one followed up, nothing. So when you think about how many people have actually gone missing and they're just like, what happened to them has never been discovered is really, really horrific. It makes you grateful that we live in an age of technology where there are security cameras everywhere. There's CCTV. Of course, that gets like out of hand. There's a balance between everything. But you do feel a little safer now with the surveillance and stuff. And also, that's why I'm always telling people, I'm always very interested in my friends' well-being. Like, if I don't hear from them for a certain amount of time, I'm going to be the first one to say, hey, are you still alive? And I mean it when I say that.
Yeah, it's like I want to make sure you haven't been stolen away.
If I don't hear from someone and I love them, I will make sure they're not dead. Everyone needs someone like that.
It's true.
Everyone needs someone like that.
It's very true.
You don't want to go 3 weeks. I haven't heard from my friend. Oh, well.
Oh, well.
You don't want people like that. You want people that are going to say, do I need to call the police?
Blink.
You at least need someone like that. So make sure people watching, you have to foster a friendship with someone like that because they'll have their back one day. So on the topic of cold case, I was listening to another cold case file podcast, and I didn't know they did this, but in some prisons they have a deck of cold cases that have the faces of people of unsolved mysteries.
That's
unsolved murders.
That's morbid. It's like
playing
gallows humor.
cards.
Yeah.
For the inmates to look at and talk about and see if they can get information.
That's interesting.
And say, do you know who this woman is? She was murdered and no one found out. Yeah.
That's interesting.
So I don't know.
I think it's really good that true crime has come back because you were talking about how like it's really morbid and dark. And it does kind of tickle that part of the reptile brain that's very interested in like the secret underbelly and the darkness out there within mankind. But a lot of this stuff is unsolved.
Yes.
And you were even saying you're watching Unsolved Mysteries on Netflix, and because of like an episode, it
that
like
one
sparked
of the
someone
people,
to like. It's good that this stuff is getting broadcasted.
I completely agree. Listening to this one, there was this girl that was killed, and her story wasn't interesting enough as told to her mother by national news networks. They didn't want to go over it. So she brought it up. But guess what? Because of cold case, people are looking into it again. They're remembering. They're thinking, did anything weird happen around this time? So I think it's great that so many people are showing an interest in it because, it's going to finally get justice for some of these people. And Unsolved Mysteries is back after I used to watch them in the 90s. They had the creepy music.
I've never seen it.
It's very creepy. I wouldn't watch it because it's nice to watch something that is wrapped up.
Yeah.
So there's this other show on Netflix I watched called Cold Case Files. But that one, they do tell you at the end, they do get the bad guy, which is nice.
That's nice. Unsolved, they don't.
Yeah.
But
don't watch too much of this stuff. Sometimes I listen to too much of it. I have to take a break because it just gets overwhelming and depressing. Oh yeah, Andre said that first episode of Unsolved Mysteries made me sad. Yes, I watched it too. Yeah, actually, I've seen multiple episodes, but they're very sad.
Yeah.
It's just you feel so bad for like the families that don't have any closure.
They never get any closure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's horrible.
I know. But anyways, that's enough about true crime.
I think we got our
Poor
last.
Anya. Anya, you came back to like the most
Well, let's
demented
a little
part.
more positive. Our last video, TV, movie thing.
Our last video, yes, our last media entertainment thing.
Hamilton.
Hamilton, yes. Okay, so when Hamilton first came out, when?
Hamilton came out
2
like
years ago.
No, it was longer than that. I want to say like 5 or 6 years ago.
Oh, really?
It's been going for a
Okay,
while.
so Hamilton has been out for a really long time, and everyone that I've heard has loved Hamilton, except for my boss, my big dumb boss, who will never ever find out where I stream, although he desperately wants to. But he said Hamilton
Frank
was, and
Chungus.
I quote, effing stupid. And I thought, this guy has the worst taste. I'm not going to believe anything he says. So I loved Hamilton. I thought it was great. It also sparked, I've always loved Lafayette, and it made me love him even more because he was my favorite performer in the play. We watched it on HBO Max. We didn't see it live.
Disney Plus.
Yeah, Disney Plus.
Yes.
So we watched Hamilton. It was really fun. And I'm not even into I don't listen to rap music. It wasn't rap though. It was so many different
It's a
genres.
hybrid, yeah.
It's a really good hybrid. And Lin-Manuel Miranda is just phenomenal.
I love
Absolute
him.
genius.
I absolutely adore
Great
that
singer
man.
and yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talent.
Very.
And the Lafayette. Hold on, I look his name up.
Lafayette.
I know the
He
band
was
he's
great.
a part of, but I don't know his name.
Pyle says Frank just sounds like a miserable creature. He is a miserable creature. I don't even know I would be, if he ever found out the things I said, I feel like it's safe to tell you this. Okay, this is safe. So one day at work, I looked, we were walking, and there was a hole in his pants right here. Like a hole where the belt buckle is. And I thought, should I tell him? What is more embarrassing? I'm going to pose this question to the chat. What's more embarrassing? For you to have a hole in your pants and get home and realize you walked around with a hole all day, or to have someone tell you, I can see your underwear? Which experience would you rather have? For me, I would rather someone just tell me you had a hole in your pants. Bring you aside, oh, hey, by the way, you have a hole in your pants. But if I get home and I realize that I had a hole in my pants all day.
Hopefully that just means that no one was like looking at places they shouldn't have been looking at. They're being respectful.
Yeah, that's
Ain't no
true.
one give me that creep eye. That's a good
But
thing.
here's the thing. I wouldn't have even noticed if that day he didn't make fun of someone else for ripping their pants.
Yeah.
And
As
then
soon
I
as it's brought
thought-
to your attention, then you're just like,
Right, and then I thought, I wasn't even thinking anything, but now you laughed about it. So I feel like, okay, so Starcar says depends on who says it. Power Piglet says I'd want to be told. So a lot of people want to be told.
yeah.
See,
That's what I
actually,
said. If I had it, I'd want to be told.
yeah, I'd want
Yeah.
to be told if I had something on my face. That's why I can't stand when you're out eating with your friends and you have something on your face and only one of them tells you. And then you think,
That's
okay,
your true friend.
that's your true friend.
That's your true
like,
friend.
oh, you got something right here. It's worse to let them do it. That makes you worse friends. So maybe
I agree.
I should have told him. But he wasn't really nice to me one day, so that's my revenge. Plus, I mean, come on, you have a hole in your pants? You just look. You just look when you get up in the morning.
Speaking of Frank, you want to talk about what that...
Oh, yeah, okay. So, there, yeah. Starcar says, how could you make that joke without checking your own pants? Yes, you have to check things first, like,
Yes.
before I make this joke. Do I have a hole? Okay. And then you tell the joke. You have to check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Yeah, you're not going to be like, man, did you see the zit on Jeffrey? And meanwhile, you got like this big pulsating globulous thing that's about to become pustulio over here.
So there is this.
Don't do it. You check.
You don't do it. There's this man at work who is he's so amazing because he's so calm. He reminds me of my dad because he's very soft-spoken, but he has the greatest insults for people. and he one of my coworkers, she was wearing a dress, and she says, "How does this dress make me look?" And he says, "It makes you look like the 43rd sister wife." Which to me is the most
best insult
that
ever.
is the best insult I have ever heard, because there
Absolutely
are so
is.
many layers to that. First layer, sister wife. Can we look up a photo of
Do you want me to look up a photo of sister
Let's
wife?
look up a photo of a
Okay.
sister wife for the people who don't know. First insult, sister wife. Have to break that down. What does that mean? It means it looks like you belong to one man.
This is wrong.
Okay, maybe just let's look up that one, because they're on TV. You know, they do their own thing. So, okay, but these ones are stylish. These are stylish sister wives. These don't count because they already look like they were made over on TLC. Those ones don't count. But sister wife, you get the idea. So he
Why
called
are they
her
married to Jeff Bridges?
the 43rd sister wife, which means you are the 43rd
On a long
most
list.
undesired woman. So I think that's a fantastic insult. I want to steal it, but I haven't had a chance yet. But if you guys have a chance to insult someone, a woman, you know, and she deserves it, you have to use this insult and then report back to me, because it can't just be contained in my mind.
No.
I want someone else to benefit off of this. Ryu says, stylish sister wives. Sounds like a band name. Yeah, it does. Who knows? Maybe the Mormons, will get on that. Okay, so that's 43rd sister
That's
wife,
the 43rd.
which is fantastic.
I listened to a good podcast called Rabbit Hole. That's half the reason why we came back to YouTube.
I mean, we did.
Yes.
Why did you say I?
I said we.
I'm pretty sure you said we. I mean, you said I.
I'm pretty sure I
Can
said
the
we.
chat please tell me he said I?
I said we listened to a pretty good podcast
He
called
said
Rabbit
I.
Hole.
Who says he says I? He said I.
Are you having a stroke?
No,
Do
I
you
said.
smell burnt toast?
I said. You
Do I need
say
to call?
I.
Do you need to go to the
You
hospital?
definitely said I.
I think you want to go to the hospital.
No.
Let's get a vote
All
in
right,
chat.
let's-
Does Kite Tails
Thank you.
want to
John
go to the
Hunter
hospital?
said he said I. You did say I. You said I listened to a good podcast. You did.
Wow, I said
Wow,
I.
look, everyone says this is for once. Everyone is actually honest and agrees with me because this is what was said.
I meant we.
This is crazy.
I apologize.
You just tried to gaslight me.
You know what? I learned from a very good trainer.
Who's that? Smudge?
I'm not going to say, but I'm right over here.
They don't even know what that means. Gaslight.
Yeah, everyone knows.
Okay, so this podcast was called Rabbit Hole.
This podcast is called Rabbit Hole. We listened to
And it
it.
is produced by the New York Times.
Yes, produced by
We
New
should
York
say
Times.
that.
But it is all about YouTube.
Right.
And
Well,
it tells a history of YouTube addiction.
Specifically, though, about how YouTube's algorithm for showing videos radicalizes people.
Yes.
So it focuses on that.
Yes. It also focuses on like viewing addiction and
Right.
folks that have addictive tendencies to just watch YouTube 14 hours a day. In fact, I'd be curious if we could just ask the chat, because
Yeah.
how much
chat.
YouTube do you watch on a day-to-day basis?
Yes, because we are not the average. We are not the average users of YouTube because we upload
We
videos.
This is the most YouTube I'll watch all week. Is us right now.
Right. So it's a very, we just upload and then set it. And I will use YouTube for, honestly, the main thing I use a lot of my YouTube for is for follow along workout videos. I will have like a playlist and I'll do those. Yoga, I do yoga videos. So that is the majority of mine. I'll watch how-tos, tutorials. So I use mine as more of a way to help myself rather than, I don't use it for entertainment or news or anything like that. Someone just said 12 hours, but I missed the name, so I'm sorry. Who said
Duffman
that?
says 12 hours a day, but
Okay,
it's mostly
thank you.
lectures during work.
Oh, lectures. What kind of
Res
lectures?
for Graham says, I don't have cable TV, so all I watch is YouTube.
Okay, 4Android says no more than an hour or two. So I'd say like Pyle says 20 hours a week. Emerald says I only have certain people I follow on YouTube. Aw, that makes us feel special because we have to be one of them.
Yeah, I watch mostly game trailers and then the
Okay.
occasional like if someone has like, there's this one channel I like called LGR, and he just does like classic computer breakdown. Like
Right.
he'll get like old Dell PCs from 1997,
neat.
break it
Yeah,
apart,
so,
show you all
like,
the
historical.
pieces. It's really cool stuff. Like I like that. But
Bishop says, I only watch YouTube for wig maintenance tips.
that's helpful. That's very helpful.
Duffman says Stanford posts a lot of their stuff to MIT Open Courseware.
That actually sounds really good.
Yeah,
I would
that
watch
would be cool. Okay,
Duffman,
so,
you should share some of your
Yeah.
favorite links because I'd be curious to check
so
that
that
out.
will. But so basically, in this podcast, though, they talked about YouTube has a very Susan Wojcicki, what's her name? Wojcicki.
I don't.
Susan
The CEO of YouTube?
Yeah,
hold on.
Wojcicki or something like that. But when she started taking over YouTube, there was this algorithm that was developed in order for YouTube to retain its viewer time. So
Wojcicki.
I don't think that's how it's pronounced.
Wojcicki. That's what it says right here. Firstly, it's spelled Wojcicky.
It's Wojcicki.
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 Well, I don't think so.
Wojcicki.
I think they said different. But so the algorithm for YouTube is basically meant for them to retain you the longest they can because
Yes.
they are
Ad revenue.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So what do? They will recommend you, you watch this, so you might like more of this. You like this cat video? How about this cat video? How about this cat video? How about this cat video? And it keeps going on and on infinitely. So you
To give you fresh, hot content.
Exactly. But they create your own echo chamber and you get trapped there and you don't get recommended anything else. And so that's what happened to this one individual in this podcast. He got radicalized towards the right in a really bad way, like the
Toxic way.
right, exactly. So very just racist, and it went on. It showed you, but he was watching 16 hours of YouTube a day.
Yeah.
16 hours of the same content of the same thing every day, and
And it would just keep recommending him more and more
Right.
of this kind of like toxic, degrading content.
Exactly. He never saw anything else. So it's a really interesting podcast because it kind of answers the questions for me. How do people get so far stuck in one certain... John Hunter said, I thought you were going to say he got radicalized by cat videos.
That would be amazing.
That would be much better if he did. But it answers my question of how do people go so far down something that they can't see that the way that they're viewing the world is hurting them?
And it's interesting because the podcast is called Rabbit Hole.
Right.
And it doesn't just do the alt-right videos. It's kind of 3 parts. Part 2 is all about PewDiePie, which I had no idea about PewDiePie. I learned a lot from that part. And then part 3 is all about QAnon and what's happening right now on YouTube.
QAnon.
It's just incredibly interesting.
Right.
It's a short podcast. You can actually get through the whole thing in 6 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt like I learned so much about what goes on behind the scenes.
Right. And so one of the things we said while we were listening to it, you said, you know what, because Susan Wojcicki
Seems like a very
is trying
good person.
to do, right,
Yes.
because she recognizes this as a problem and she's trying to fix it. So we said, you know what if we can go back, do some stuff, throw a little bit of variety, and maybe break up. You know, you never realize who you might end up reaching out to and being a positive influence. And both of us are really, we are very, very, we don't want the whole, hey guys, like, comment, and subscribe.
Be sure to mash that like button. Share it with your
guys,
friends.
What's up? We're not like that.
If you're not giving $5 to our Patreon, then why are you even watching our channel?
Which is a legitimate thing someone has said.
Someone.
If you do not have $5 to give me, then why are you even breathing air right now?
I need this.
But so we are very much, I'd say it's more of like, the only thing I'm going to ask you is to take care of yourself and to try and better yourself in a way to improve your life for you, to go to bed on time. So it's things that are going to be beneficial to you. But so Duffman remembers. But yeah, so that is what, because we're very balanced people. We both have jobs. We both have full-time
Busy
jobs.
lives. Yeah.
We have very busy lives. This isn't at all a job for us. We don't sustain it. We just do this because I've honestly met like so many of my close friends who are watching this right now, like
through YouTube, gaming, Discord.
Yeah.
but like are so close to like family members because I've known them for so long. So this is a nice way for us to interact, but it's not the extent of it.
I think I give
Overall,
more gifts
like-
to people from our Discord group than I do my own family.
Yeah.
For sure.
Right. So we're very close. We watch movies regularly. We play games regularly. We're very active talking to everyone outside of this. So it's more so. It's like beneficial for us too. So yeah, if anyone's happening to watch this and you need some actual interaction, you can definitely talk to us. If you join our Discord, get involved with, we watch classic movies every Sunday. Yeah, Starcar says Kite and Flex family vlog channel. We knew a vlogger in Florida. Let's not say his name, but we knew him, remember?
Is he a Norse god?
No, the other one.
Oh.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking
Yes.
about. But they did a daily thing, and that to me is just so intrusive.
It was weird.
It was weird. And
It's
that
very cringy.
very cringy, very, very stereotypical. Hey guys, look at me, I'm on a roller coaster. Very much like that. Embarrassing.
I feel so
humiliating. I don't like this person because he said something bad about me to someone else.
I was actually going to
Years
say
ago, there was drama.
Yeah.
We've had a
There's
falling
been a lot
out.
of drama.
There's so much drama. And this is why I don't like these people.
Can I just say 99.99% of people, including us, who come to YouTube, who go to Twitch, who go to Twitter, seeking fame, glory, and viewership,
Yeah.
completely out of their dome.
Right.
Like, there is truly the niche factor, the luck factor, and the time factor.
Right, there's
and if
so
you don't have
many-
all three of those things,
Yeah.
you're done.
Right. And honestly though, I wouldn't want that life
No.
because that's such an intrusive life and you're
Based on
constantly
everything I've heard, I just want none of it.
Yeah,
I
I
want to
don't
find more
want-
friends here.
Yeah,
and
that's
it.
exactly it.
That's all I
exactly it
want.
because that is all we really want out of this. So
Yes.
But Rabbit Hole is a good documentary. You should watch
It's a very good
Very
documentary.
good podcast.
Speaking of, I had a good transition. I lost it. Dang it.
Uh-oh. Also, look how long my hair is getting. It looks super disheveled
Same.
right now.
Same.
Because I did not style it.
I'm dying.
Anyways, what's the next thing?
So we got some games on here.
Yeah, we got games. We already talked about Grounded and
Talked about Grounded, but there's a whole lot more.
Fallout 76.
Fallout 76.
Which
Biggin.
we started playing
Adore
after
that game.
Yes, after they added the NPC
The
content.
Wastelanders
So we
expansion.
can't say we didn't play Fallout 76 when it first came out. We both pulled away from it because we heard they weren't going to have any NPCs, and the NPCs are such a big part of Fallout's universe. They're just like so memorable.
There was a rocky launch as well. I remember there was some server issues
Yeah,
and
there
a
were
lot
some
of bugs.
issues. So they put more NPCs in there. They put NPCs in general.
They
in
put
there.
a lot of stuff in there.
And
a lot more than that.
storyline,
Yeah.
right? So that's a really good game.
I
It's fun.
love that game.
Yeah, it's great. It's
So-
better than Fallout 4.
It is better than Fallout 4.
It is.
I think it's better than Fallout 3 also.
Don't say that.
I'm saying it.
Fallout 3 has one of my favorite characters of all time,
Name?
Fox.
Nice.
I loved Fox.
Yeah, but this one has, what's
Because
his
he was
face?
this grumpy, overgrown.
This one has Graham.
Yeah, Graham and Fox. I love the big dopey super mutants. First of all, the big dopey ones are really cute because they can barely talk and they try so hard. You know, it's
Well,
bigger.
we were playing tonight.
Yeah.
And so there's
Yeah.
so much I have to say about Fallout 76.
It's
but the thing
really
that I
good.
love is it does exactly what Red Dead Redemption 2 can't do.
What's that?
Create interesting stories and mechanics in a sandbox world.
Yes.
So we were just playing. We fast traveled to a place, and
Well,
then I
Red Dead
hear
Redemption 2 is not sandbox.
the online is.
How is it sandbox? You can't build stuff.
Yeah, it's a bad sandbox, but it's still a sandbox.
I don't think that's the purpose of it.
That is literally what it is.
Is that what they said? GTA 5 is now a sandbox?
That's what they call it. Yeah.
Whose calls it they?
It's the open world
Who's
sandbox.
they?
That is just what they refer to it
Also,
as.
remind me to tell you one thing about Minecraft.
Okay, got it.
But back to Fallout 76.
So we're fast traveling.
We're fast traveling.
We get to this woodsy area, and I hear this super mutant who's like, "Oh!" And I'm like, "Great, I gotta fight another super mutant."
Yeah, he's like groaning.
He's groaning in pain. So I start sneaking, and then I see him, and it says "Wounded Super Mutant." He's like level 15. Like, that's weird. I'm not gonna shoot him. I want to
Yeah.
see what he has to say. And then he's like, leave me be. I'm like, okay. I've never seen this before. He's not fighting. And then he's like, big bad Baba coming. I'm like, oh, I know what the big bad Baba is because I've been paying attention to this world lore, and the world lore in this game is so good.
Yeah,
it's
really
the freaking sheep squatch.
It is so good.
His entire unit was wiped out by the sheep squatch, and he's the only one that made it away. And he's warning us, like, don't go that direction.
Right.
Sheep squatch that way. And I'm like, I won't. That thing scares me.
It's those little touches, though, of having... wait, just really quickly, because Duffman brought this up. Blank as a service has the highest profit margin for software. It won't go away. I hate it too. What does that mean? Blank as a service.
Games as a service?
Was it a deleted word?
Or I think he's just saying like anything
Blank
as a service. So like games as a service, video as a service, like the subscription
model.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. Okay, got it. Rev says, yeah, it's incredibly anti-consumer. Yeah, I don't know if that is applicable to this.
Yeah.
Right? Follow it because it's not a service.
No, I mean we once you have Fallout, you have Fallout.
Right. Plus
there's no monthly subscription or anything.
Right.
Like that.
Exactly.
I mean there's that premium thing for a private server.
Yeah.
Which I get. If just a little FYI. If you've ever wondered why you have to pay for a PlayStation Network or Xbox Live or Fallout private servers or Battlefield private servers, it's because servers are really expensive. And a lot of people don't know this, but the cooling cost of servers is going through the roof. And because of climate change, it's actually getting more expensive to run servers in data centers.
Right.
So most servers and data centers are put in these sort of like district areas like California, Virginia, Miami. And in California specifically, it's so dry and hot there that now they're afraid that they're going to have to move servers all over the place because literally they can't be powered on because of wildfire and wind risk. Yeah. So there's a reason why you pay for these services. It's not free. It couldn't be. That would bankrupt the organizations if it were.
Well, here's the thing. Like, if we're going to argue about it as a subscription, like if you're going to pay, I'm trying to think. So like the first online game I ever played was Disney's Toontown. And I think it's because there was like a 3-day free period or something. I never paid for it. I didn't have even access. It's not something, I was so young at the time of having played it. So, but that was like the first subscription thing I can think of, right? As far as a game, I'm trying to think of an earlier online game that had a subscription.
I mean, we paid for AOL when I was a kid.
AOL, something like that, right?
You know, it came with the internet as well as like games and search and all the bells and whistles that came with like an internet subscription.
But now I'm thinking, what games other than Warcraft? Well, Final Fantasy VII also
there's
has
Xbox
an online.
Live.
Right, but Xbox
Final
Live
Fantasy
is more
14.
so to have access to Xbox's library, to Microsoft's
as well as the multiplayer.
Library.
It used to just be multiplayer.
So, Final Fantasy
14.
World of Warcraft. What else has a monthly subscription? To me, I don't like those. I don't like those specific monthly subscriptions because I feel like that's too much money for one game. Although we did try out Warcraft before
we were having a really good time with it.
Drama.
And then the whole Hong Kong thing happened and we just stopped.
And then we just boycotted Blizzard. But yeah, I don't know.
Duffman says don't forget Google Stadia.
Oh my gosh, yeah, Google Stadia. That didn't work out though, right? Because there's no way they could stream that kind of high quality game.
You can. It is possible. And YouTube is getting, or YouTube, Google, they have it. Xbox is getting in on it too.
Wow.
They're going to have their own Xbox Cloud service coming out. The thing is, we will have this technology down pat in 5 years. Mm-hmm. The problem is consumer internet is not good enough to be able to pull the amount of data fast enough and thick enough to give you the same experience of just buying a $1,400 PC and playing with the max settings in the house.
And that's the reason a lot of people like to have physical games. They like to have physical copies of DVDs and movies and things like that. I know your brother likes to have physical copy. There is something that feels like you own it. Yeah. Because if it is just something you're accessing, I think it was Rev or Duffman said, if the servers go down, your game's gone. That's basically it. You know, if you don't have it, then it is gone. So are you really paying? You're just paying for access to it. You don't
Yes,
actually
you're paying
own
for a
it.
license.
Right.
But that is still true for even physical media.
Right.
So the license, this is the whole thing about copyright and licensing. When you buy a Blu-ray, you're actually buying the license to be able to show that Blu-ray in your home.
Yeah.
You don't own the content on that disc.
No, you don't.
You don't. That's
You just
copywritten
own
content.
that
You own the
copy
ability
of it.
to play that content
Right.
in your Blu-ray player on your TV for yourself and other friends.
Exactly.
Nothing has really changed in that regard from like the Steam model or the digital download model. The only difference is now if like Starcar just pointed out, Scott Pilgrim's gone forever. There was a Scott Pilgrim game. It was really fun. It was on the PlayStation 3 and
PT
Xbox
is
360.
gone forever.
PT's gone forever. Yes. So that is the one exception to those rules. Is
Right.
if they are pulled, you no longer have access to them.
Right. So that is a thing, though. You know.
Now, I will say, for every Scott Pilgrim, there is 1,000 other things that I would much rather have a digital version of than have
Yeah.
a wall of freaking discs, which
Yeah.
are terrible for the environment.
That's
like,
true.
It's like, yes, you can point to the extreme examples where something goes wrong, but in general, digital content is way better
Yeah.
and cheaper and more efficient and effective than any other kind of media out there. And we should be grateful to have the option to go physical or digital.
I agree. I'll download something before
Yeah.
I print it out or anything like that.
I'm thrilled that the PlayStation 5 is going to play PS4 games
Yeah.
that are digital. Like, this is going to be like one of the first times backwards compatibility applies to digital games.
That's crazy.
I will buy that console for that reason alone.
Yeah.
And I will get the digital only version, so I don't have to buy any more discs.
So that's worth it.
I agree.
That's worth it.
Starcar
so yeah,
also
follow
says Steam is fine
text.
because it's insured to an extent. That's true for most digital platforms. There was even a video on demand platform that went down. I forget what it was called, but before they did, they allowed you to download just raw versions of everything that you had a license for and save it locally.
That's nice.
Yeah, so most things fall into that bucket.
Most things
and they'll
will
give
have
you a
that.
warning before they pull something too.
Right.
So there are legal scapegoats that protect you.
Exactly.
Don't be afraid of the future. The future is not bad.
Don't be afraid, guys.
The future is good. You had a story about Minecraft.
Yeah, but I don't feel like it anymore.
Yeah, screw the Minecraft.
It wasn't even about Minecraft. It was about Notch.
Oh.
It was about something crazy someone said to me about him. Someone said I'm not on the
Yeah.
same level as Notch.
Someone said that to you.
Someone said that.
I mean, that's...
Someone privately messaged me and said, he's not like us.
That would be
He's
like
different."
someone saying to me, like, you're not like Bill Gates, Flex.
Yeah.
You're not like him. I'm like,
He was basically
Yeah.
saying,
you're right.
because I am part of the proletariat class, I do not have the right to even address Notch on Twitter.
Someone needs to go get their Ayn Rand and go hide in a closet and read their book.
Someone said, don't expect him to ever treat you the same way. Because he felt like he had to correct me on something, and there's nothing he could have corrected me on, so he pulled this random thing. He's like, you're not Notch. Like, when have I ever tried to be Notch? When I even said I'm even remotely within the same category as him. So I just thought that was ridiculous.
People on the internet are dumb sometimes.
But I heard that same individual was trying to drive someone else crazy. So that was their attempt to drive me crazy. But you know what I said?
It's a good joke.
I said he's a man. He's a flesh and blood human being like me. I think we're the same kind of thing.
I think we share.
And that was
a
it.
similar
That's how I ended
species.
it. Yeah.
Oh.
I just thought that was random. That was
Give
great.
strength.
Brett says, do not under any circumstances make eye contact. Yeah, it was like he was not just bodyguard. He was upset. Yeah, I don't know. Anya said, who would want to be Notch? He isn't exactly a nice person. I mean, I don't feel like I can immortalize any of my opinions because it would be taken out of context and then shown to him on Twitter. And he has so much money. He could pay every store around me to never give me the things that I want again.
That would suck.
And I'd say, why can't I have cheese Danish?
Late stage capitalism, am I right?
But I buy cheese Danish. Well, you can't have it anymore.
We've been paid not to serve you.
Yeah.
It's kind of
That
like,
would be terrible.
it's like net neutrality. Or
That
it's
is-
like what
yes.
happens when you remove net neutrality.
That's actually a way worse. That is a way worse revenge. Is withholding something from someone that they don't know.
Ooh, that's good.
So if he's
That's
listening,
good.
if someone did clip something I said where I said I am the same sort of material he is, he didn't like it. He could call every single source that gives me cheese Danish and pay them
He
not
could literally
to.
pay car drivers to get in front of your car and drive
and just
slow.
slow down. So
There's so many ways that money can
Yes.
just mess up
right.
a human's
Really
life
creative
without
ways.
like hiring a hitman or
Right,
anything like that. Just
exactly.
like torture.
Yeah.
Straight up mental torture.
Yeah. So Anya, I cannot respond to what you said. Now what?
I do want to call Anya made a comment earlier that ties into something we wanted to talk about. So Anya said sheep squatch is real.
Oh yeah, I meant to see Ryu. Ryu looked up a photo of sheep squatch because she said she thought it would be cute and it was not cute.
Sheep squatch is so apparently sheep squatch, just
Is
like
a
our
real
next
myth?
topic, is a real cryptid.
Wow.
So one of the neat things about Fallout 76 is it has cryptids, but they're all
Right.
these horrible mutant
Yeah,
versions
they're
of
like
things.
mutated, radiated cryptids. Cryptids are just imaginary things.
Cryptozoological.
Like the one thing that I didn't want locked in someone's basement is a cryptid.
the New Jersey
Yes.
Devil. Yes.
I don't even want to think about stuff like that. That
Yes.
makes me want to cry.
So there are lots of cryptids.
Yeah,
we
there
have
are.
our own. Do you know what our cryptid is?
Yeah, the swamp squatch.
Skunk ape.
Skunk ape. Who has so many different names though. Swamp squatch.
Swamp squat.
You know, there's different names for him. Let's look him up. So Florida has our own. The Jersey Devil. New Jersey has New Jersey Devil. The Mothman. Who has the Mothman? Where is it?
Mothman is.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, look at that photo. How do we look up this? Oh, great.
I don't know. Like, yeah.
Can we just zoom up on this specific one? Okay, just show that.
I don't know.
We just have to show that specific one.
You know what I
one's
don't get about
hilarious.
Google image search? Why can't you just get a full screen
Yeah, I
image?
don't know.
Like, why is it so
You
hard?
used to not be able to do that.
You used to be able to like just pull it up full screen. Now it always has
Oh, Duffman says cryptids are just animals you saw out of the corner of your eye and you were probably too inebriated to properly describe to the authorities. That's right. Yeah.
skunk ape.
It kind of looked like he was a skunk, but it could have been an ape at the same time. So that is Florida's. We
Yes.
have our own cryptid. Also, there's a hurricane happening next week. I had no idea about it.
No
I had
idea.
to learn about it from Discord. This is not the way I wish to prepare for my life. Not through Discord. Rev says my state has the Pukwudgies. Oh my gosh, we got to look that up.
Okay.
Pukwudgies.
Hold on, I have to-
Pukwudgies. That sounds hilarious.
PUK.
Pukwudgies.
Puck. Oh my
Oh
goodness.
my gosh, what is
Google
that?
resolved it. Whoa.
Whoa! What is that?
It's smudge.
That looks like something from Lord of the Rings.
We have a Puckwudgie.
Okay, that looks like, please, can I have a sock?
It's
That looks like Dobby.
Oh, this one's cool. Look at that one.
Oh, that's cool.
at this-
Okay, that's a
look at this
Pukwudgie.
Pukwudgie.
That's interesting.
This
That's
Puckwudgie.
funny. Transmitting code says it's a good old-fashioned banshee. A banshee isn't a cryptid, though, right? Isn't a banshee like a witch?
It's like that's a paranormal.
Isn't that a witch?
I'll tell you, a banshee's like a ghost.
A banshee, yeah. A
Yeah.
banshee's like a ghost. But sheep squatch is real.
sheep squatch is real, which is cool. I didn't know
Yeah.
that. I'm gonna do some research.
Mothman
what also
is real.
Mothman.
Mothman.
So when we started playing Fallout 76, I got super excited because there was a time in my life when I was really into
The Mothman.
The Mothman. I watched the Richard Gere movie, which was actually pretty good.
Crazy.
But I didn't know this, so I just wanted to it reminded me of this thing, and I just wanted to read it here. So the in West Virginia, where Fallout 76 takes place, there was a bridge, and the Silver Bridge.
Yes, I read about that because I was interested in what happened at the Silver Bridge tragedy.
Yes.
Yes.
So the Silver
read
Bridge
about
tragedy, after December 15th, 1967,
The bridge collapsed.
46 people died
I
because of this
know,
bridge
it's
collapse.
awful.
But before that bridge collapsed, for like 2 straight weeks, all of these people were getting these visions of the Mothman.
Wow.
And the Mothman was like showing up and like trying to like stay away from the bridge.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's weird. I did not read that on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah. Mothman tries to save you.
Honestly, if you are having any sort of, and I've heard so many instances, so I will say both of us, I guess, buy by definition of what we are, believe in the supernatural already. So we believe in the supernatural. I personally believe in demonic forces. I absolutely believe in demonic
Why do you
forces.
say I don't believe in the demons?
I believe in them a little stronger, I think.
Yeah, you probably do. That's probably.
I believe in demonic forces. And so, I'm not talking about...
I believe we came from Mars.
Oh, we'll get into that later. But I'm saying, okay, obviously we're Christian. We believe in God. We believe in Jesus. We believe in the Holy Spirit. We believe in demonic forces. We believe in Satan. So, where was I going with this?
I don't know.
So we believe in these things.
How to get back into Satan and demons. How to get there.
But I'm saying, since we believe in this, there is a possibility that if someone were to hear a voice that says, stay away, when they walk into a building, you'd think, what is that? That's supernatural. And then something happens in the building. I heard this story. There was this woman, she was out running. And she was out running alone. She's been in the woods a bunch of times. It was a path that she's taken before. But she heard her deceased grandmother's voice say, run. And she heard it in her head. And she started to run really fast away. And she heard footsteps behind her. And then the voice said, hide. And she was at a place where she had hid. She crawled underneath this bank near the river and hid. And she could hear people walking above where she was. And then the voice said, run again. And she ran away. And as she was going out of this area, she could see two men were in the distance, like looking after her. And this was a story she said. I read this online. Obviously, someone could have just made it up. But it was in a thread where multiple people were sharing instances of this, which is very scary. But things like that have happened. Or you'll smell something and you'll think this is unfamiliar. There's a lot of cases of that. The unexplainable. What's that called? It's like the sixth sense. You don't know.
Well, it's like paranormal.
Exactly. So I believe in instances like that happening. Yeah. If there is a Mothman and it is this thing that is materializing in this weird way, I absolutely believe things like that. Now, of course, you have to take it with a grain of salt. I don't think, like that show where they talk to the ghost with the little... I don't think that's real.
Hill House?
No, that's just show the ghost hunters.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, something bad happened in this room.
Did you feel that?
Something bad happened in this room. I can feel the spirits here. I do believe there are people who can commune with the spirits or have a different thing. I had a friend who came to the house, and my parents' dog was a stray dog that we found, and I was very close to him. I tried to reunite him with his owner, but no one ever followed up on him. I told the pound, I said, you can put a notice that says we have this dog, but we ended up keeping the dog. I was very close to it. It slept with me all up until I moved out. And my friend came over to the house one day, and she said, I'm getting this feeling like the dog is the closest to you. And she said, like, is that true? And I said, yes, it is, because I'm the one who took him in as a stray, took care of him and all this stuff. How do you explain that? Some people just have a feeling. They just have a feeling. I absolutely believe some people have a feeling. That's why I think if I were to get involved with true crime and maybe try and communicate with the spirits, with their unsolved...
we're not going there.
But you don't want me to do that.
No, I don't.
Why?
So here's what I believe. Because I'm like you. I do believe... I like to have an open mind. I like to think...
Right, we have an open mind.
Anything is possible.
Right.
Right?
Anything is possible.
But I also think that a lot of it is extra-dimensional science. So, like, there is a science that can explain...
explain 90% of the way the brain works.
Humans, by nature, live very linearly. We only perceive time in a single direction. But that doesn't mean that the universe around us also moves linearly forward through time. I think the rest of the universe is... It exists both forward, backwards,
right,
to side to side. Things that don't make sense to us could easily be explained as something that is extra dimensional.
Right.
So it's breaking the rules of the way we perceive space and time, and we get glimpses of it. Yeah. Which makes sense, because if you think about, like, what is a ghost? A ghost is something from the past that's manifesting itself in the present. Right. So, like, I think that ghosts absolutely could exist. It could be some kind of extra-dimensional rift, something that persists through time.
The comments say that you're Dr. Manhattan and you're a Time Lord.
Probably yes. Would make a lot of sense if you think about it.
So we have an open mind, but we're also not, like, those kind of people.
No.
That are like, well, honey, if something bad happened,
I'll pull out my crystals and start rubbing them
praying enough
for good luck.
Yeah, we
like,
aren't. We're very
grounded in science.
Exactly.
But we're open-minded.
Exactly. So that is the blend that we are.
That is the blend.
That is.
That is the blend. It's a good blend.
Rhea says borrow Frank's house for the Ouija stream. Yeah, that's what I need to do. I need to go to someone else's house and do it, and then I can, say that.
So
what's next on the list?
Just some more games. I beat Homeworld, which is a game I played as a kid. Way too hard as a kid. It's still hard as an adult, but it felt really good to beat that game. And that game reminded me of something that I wanted to talk about here.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So in the game Homeworld, if you read the manual, which is like 30 pages, and it's a great manual.
We're going to start reading that right now.
Okay, we're going to start reading the manual right now. It talks about the setup premise. So basically, in Homeworld, you are a race, a species that has been on this desert planet for thousands of years, and there has been many religions. There's been many wars and fallout and all this stuff. But you find a warp drive, and the warp drive allows you to rebuild a mothership that allows you to travel through space. On that warp drive is a single word written. It says home.
Creepy.
Now, this reminded me of a couple different stories I heard. I think one from Radiolab, one from the book Sapiens. But it's very interesting because there's this premise that if humans or any species were to build a spaceship or were to travel a great distance and crash, but not have the ability to preserve information and use primitive tools, in 2 to 3 generations, it would be completely primal all over again. There'd be a de-evolution of man, and you basically turn back into, I don't believe we ever came from this planet. We never had space travel. Yeah. That's Grandpa's myth that you just tell us.
That is what he thinks.
That's not what I think. That's just a theory out there. I presented this to Kite Tales as a joke. I said, we all came from Mars anyway, didn't you know? And then I explained this theory about primitive tools and all this. And she said...
I said, there's no way. What do you mean?
No, you started to go on. You're like, you believe all this crazy hoopla.
I said you're being manipulated by certain individuals whom I will not mention that have filled your head with fantastical knowledge.
Fantastical knowledge.
Yeah, this is how he said this to me yesterday as we're eating dinner. I don't even know how we got on the topic. We start talking about space. So we start talking about space and we're gonna try and make planet Earth too. I'm very against the idea of terraforming another planet because we can't even fix our planet, and it's helpless. We can't. Yes, we can always do something. Look at how much cutting back on traffic has changed pollution and it's made the air clear. We can absolutely do something. So he said that people want to go to Mars, and you know what? There is proof that we came from Mars. And this is what you say. You said there might be proof that we actually came from Mars. We destroyed Mars, and now Mars is the way it is because humans destroyed it, and then we came to Earth. And then we made Earth.
The way
but no one remembers we're from Mars. This is what you said.
No.
You said none of us remember we came from Mars. And I said, you're crazy.
No.
This is actually what happened.
This is not. Yeah. Now,
he said
we talked about me gaslighting earlier. The whole reason I brought this up is because I knew she was going to do this.
No, because...
So I made a joke and said, there are people who think we came from Mars, and they'll give you this rigmarole. She says, so you believe this? And then she goes through this spiel that she just did, where she's like, and here's all the reasons, and Flex, you are bought into the Kool-Aid. You've been drinking it. I also want to read one of the things in the chat. Starcar says Bishop trying to convert you to his Mars cult.
Yeah, men came from Mars, that whole idea. But the thing was, you were so prepared.
Resvagram says Neanderthals were the native species of this planet. Homo sapiens are of extraterrestrial origin. That's pretty good. I like that.
Oh my gosh. So, that is good.
That is good.
They need to make a movie about that. Because that would be such a good premise. You know, the Neanderthals, they were the real things of this earth. And then we crash landed in that episode of The Twilight Zone. We came here and we destroyed them. And we're the aliens.
Don't get too excited.
That's such a good idea. Rev, we'll write that together. I'm telling you, that'll be such a good thing. But we won't know it. It will be the big twist on the final season. That'll be so good.
So I'm pretty sure, one, This has already been done.
Who's been done?
I can't remember when. I can't remember where. But it's already been done.
There's no way it's been done. Rev, let's copyright this tonight.
So in the book Sapiens, which is a fantastic book, they don't go into that exact idea, but they get into like Homo sapiens did kill the Neanderthals because the Neanderthals were like a lesser cognitive species. They didn't have the communication that we did.
You've also heard only one Neanderthal skull has ever been found.
Duffman says Battlefield Earth. Duffman, is that it? Is that legit what Battlefield Earth is?
Story?
I thought that was a Scientology movie.
John Hunter says, and we had children with the Neanderthals, that's why we share DNA. Is that really a thing?
I think that is a thing.
That's hilarious.
I believe that is a legit thing. It's the same kind of thing as the Mars thing I was telling you about. But the thing I love about, so firstly, I like science. I like the unknown.
Yeah, we
I
like
enjoy
science.
all this stuff.
We don't dislike science.
Yes.
Science is not a liar.
It's fun when science is a liar sometimes, but it's fun when you take science and then you make theories and principles and philosophical things that lead into science fiction.
It's fun when you don't believe it. But when you tell me earnestly, there's so much proof we killed Mars.
I didn't say
and
that.
We came to Earth. Then I'm like, who is he listening to?
Firstly, on the record,
but you were so
I never
prepared.
said that.
You did.
No, I didn't.
You
I
said
never
we
said
came
that.
to Earth. We destroyed.
You're saying this right now. This
You
is totally
said it.
fabricated.
No, you definitely
Kite Sales
said
is
it.
trying to gaslight
I'm not
me
gaslighting.
live on stream.
Didn't we say
2020.
we were going to put it on the list?
It's July 31st, and I'm being gaslit in real time. I'm blinking.
Being gaslit yesterday. I was being gaslit yesterday.
No, you're gaslighting
you were
right now.
testing me to see if I was crazy.
I was legit. Okay, we were eating lunch, and I was just trying to have a fun conversation.
I think it was dinner.
It was lunch. See, you're warping the story. It was lunch because I remember I was taking a break from work, and we were talking, and I was eating my food.
Yeah, and I think it made me psycho.
Yes, I think it did as well.
No, it was because we had an unresolved argument the day before.
Reservogram says, what I said was the opening scene of 2001 Space Odyssey. Kinda. But in 2001 Space Odyssey, the monkeys that touch the monolith evolve, and then they destroy the Neanderthal. But the monkeys that evolve were still Neanderthals to begin with. They were evolved because of the monolith.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, I like this comment. Is it a Fondry, or is it an A, the commenter? Fondry, I think. Well, he said, it doesn't feel like I'm watching a live stream. It feels like I'm watching a fun dinner party. That is exactly the aesthetic I would go for. So thank you so much for saying that, because that validates. Android? I thought it was a 4.
It's a 4, but I mean, like, it makes an A.
Well, Android. So thank you, Android. That's what we're going for. Now let's talk about the other thing that we were going to talk about tonight. What else is on the list? Remember? There was something on there that I wanted to bring up that we wanted to talk about the chat with. What was it?
Last of Us 2?
Oh, no, it was about this. Since we're talking about this thing. Okay, so this is what happens. Now,
Yes.
Yes,
okay.
I want to talk about it because when I get off the phone, with you, with my parents, my brother, I'll always say like, okay, I love you, and then love you, bye. It's sort of just, I say I love you multiple times. And so I was listening, and Frank was on the phone with his wife, and he never says, I love you. He just says, thanks, hangs up. And he's like, okay, hangs up. And to me, I thought that's so odd. Like, why wouldn't you say I love you to your wife? And so on Twitter, I said, also, Rev, you brought red wine. You can put that on the dining table, please. We will be pouring it out at the seance at midnight.
We got our Ouija boards ready.
So I said on Twitter, I said, my boss never says I love you to his wife on the phone. How can you not say that? Is this normal? And there were some people who responded and said, you don't always have to say I love you to your wife on the phone. And I said, yes, you do. You should always say I love you. There's no good argument as to why you shouldn't say love you, bye. There's just no good argument. If you don't say it.
I have to read John Hunter's comment. I have to
that?
interrupt. I bet his wife cuts holes in his pants because he doesn't tell her he loves her.
Oh my gosh, yes. I
John
love
Hunter
that.
on the money.
I love that. I love the lore behind the hole in the pants. That's a good reason.
It makes sense.
That wraps it all
Knowing
up.
this, it now makes a lot of sense.
Yes, so there were some people that said, oh, you don't have to say I love you. They just know. But that would be like saying, if I said, may you please pass me that remote? May you please pass me that remote? I just looked at it. I didn't say thank you. Oops. That would be like saying that. That would be like doing something and not saying thank you. Oh, well, he knows I meant thank you. Why wouldn't you just say thank you?
It's so easy.
If I said, I gave you something and you didn't say you're welcome. Oh, she knows it. She knows I say you're welcome. It's something, you just say it. So there's no good argument anyone can make about not telling your wife, I love you. But this man got very upset with me. And he said that if you say I love you, it means you're going to cheat. So it's better not to say I love you. It's better to just let her feel.
What? Wait.
This was his reason. And then he told me to stop judging people. And he got psycho, so I had to block him. I thought that was the most crazy argument I've ever heard. That I could
saying
say,
I love you means you're going to cheat.
According to this
but
person.
But not saying I love you. But
not saying it means you love them more than the person that says it. That was his argument.
That is the most backwards thing I've ever heard.
It makes no sense whatsoever.
That's like saying, I expect you to read my mind.
Right.
Like, you better be reading my mind.
Exactly.
Because if you're not reading my mind and I have to tell you, then you're stupid.
Yes. And so...
That's insane.
It is insane.
That is legit, like, there might be something wrong upstairs.
And I've missed some of the comments. I don't know if anyone has ever has said in the comments that they don't like saying
Duffman says it's reverse psychology.
It's definitely odd. But here's the thing, there's nothing wrong with telling someone you love them. Especially if you feel, it's just a mechanical thing at this point. Just say it.
Then say it.
There's just no harm in saying it.
It'll make them feel, if it's mechanical, it'll make them feel better. Because
right,
it's like,
exactly.
you went the extra bit. And then maybe it'll be true.
Right. And here's the thing, if you get into the habit of something, it's just a nice gesture. It's just like saying thank you or you're welcome. So I just thought that was the most bizarre thing ever, that anyone would ever try and argue. It's better not to tell your spouse I love you. To me, that is how you would lead to a dead marriage. There's no love. You can't even say I love you. We're at that point, so it's not good. So what else is on the list? That's probably it.
We got a couple more things. Human Fall Flat.
Nah.
I started playing No Man's Sky again because of the latest patch. It's so good now. If you ever were waiting to play No Man's Sky,
it's multiplayer.
I haven't even done the latest patch content. What I will say is it finally supports ultra wide. They fixed a lot of the graphical bugs and it runs super buttery smooth now. Yeah. And they also gave storage limit increases on single stack items. So you could have 99999 items.
So that's a benefit.
Good. Love it. But also want to talk about Last of Us 2.
Last of Us 2. Oh yeah, okay. So some of you watching now, I know Songbird and Pyle were there specifically when we talked about, there was some drama with Last of Us 2 when it was first released.
And I'm only 10 hours in, so
we're
please
not going
don't
to spoil anything.
But
let's just talk about this one specific character, physique. So there were some people who were upset that this one character was very muscular in the game.
Her name is Abby.
And I guess we can pull up a photo of this muscular character. But some people were saying, like, Rhea says, tell your wife you hate her to assert dominance. There is some people out there who I'm sure would argue that. But yeah, so there were individuals out there who were very upset by this one female character being very muscular. And this is no new thing as far as video games causing this sort of moral outrage about things that are not having to do with gameplay, not having to do with the story. It's something like some social issue. I don't know when that started. I kind of have an idea. Yeah, so this is the character.
That is the character, Abby from Last of Us 2. A character
from
a video game.
Right. And so I was kind of seeing some of the discussions in the Discord, but someone said that it would be so unrealistic for someone in the post-apocalypse to be ripped. And I'm thinking, if I'm in the post-apocalyptic, I'm going to be like Bruce Lee. I will have nothing other than working out to do.
Let me just counter that argument entirely using Last of Us 2 universe.
Yeah.
Firstly, in Last of Us 2, everything has grown back. Humanity was the only thing affected by the virus. So there's deer, squirrels, birds. There's tons of animals everywhere. There's tons of plants everywhere.
Yeah.
There's never been a better time to be on the paleo diet. So they're all on paleo in Last of Us.
Right.
So if you have a moderate weight muscle routine plus paleo, you are going to get jacked
super fast because you have no fat in your diet at all. There's zero body fat in Last of Us 2.
Everyone would be doing keto.
Everyone would be on keto all the time.
Everyone would be their healthiest version.
And you'd be super swole, super jacked if you did moderate weight training. So, man or woman, and literally when the argument was being made in our Discord, I just typed in muscular woman in Jiffy and found like wrestlers, which they look exactly like Abby from Last of Us 2.
Well, for me, like, I don't get involved with, and I never really have. I know everything involving beep, beep made all of these social issues very prevalent, and people started complaining more about things that they didn't like, but it had nothing to do with the actual mechanics of the game. I don't agree with that. If I'm going to comment about a game, it's more so going to be about the writing or the gameplay,
which has been phenomenal so far.
Or maybe I hate all of the characters, something like that. Yeah. So just more stuff.
The thing that I will say is I actually really like Last of Us 2 because in the first, I would say 4 hours, I was not a fan of the two protagonists. Their writing is so good, they've grown on me. Like, that's impressive when you can take someone you don't like and then by putting them in certain situations and like exposing you to their character traits and growth, it's like, oh, I actually like them now. I've become fond of these characters I did not like before.
Hasn't that happened? Oh yeah, when we were watching Drag Race.
Yeah.
We loved this one, I was going to say character, we loved this one performer at the beginning, Ginger Minge, and then by the end we hated her.
Who was a Florida.
Yes, we loved Ginger and then we didn't like Ginger. So it is good to see characters develop and things like that within video games, and it does happen. So that's good. I guess that means that they either did something well.
I'm very excited to see how it goes.
And I still have to play the first game.
More twists and turns, but I'm really enjoying it, and I feel like that game is very harshly criticized.
Yeah.
Based on what I've played so far, because I heard about some of the leaks and I was spoiled on some of the things that happened, and now having seen it in context, I'm like, these people are stupid, and they just want to whine and complain on the internet, and that's not a good enough reason to dislike something.
Yeah, I agree, but I mean that's been going on since a certain Kickstarter. Eek.
I don't know.
We know the Kickstarter. I've talked about multiple times. The thing that has led to all of this is this one event. This one Kickstarter. They know what I'm talking about.
They know what you're talking about.
We don't have to say it, but they know. Some of you know. Okay, is that it? Also, if you have topics you'd like us to discuss, if you have Q&A, if you have questions, let us know, and I'll get to them.
Yes.
Rio says, Beep Beep became the basis of a ton of people's careers, so fanning the flames kind of became part of their job. Thank you! Yeah, she knows what I'm talking about.
I'm glad
she knows exactly. Beep Beep. Yes, we know. And we're in agreement here. Because, yes, it made some people...
Res for Graham has filled me in.
Yes,
so
it just shot some people to fame. And I will tell you what, the guy who told me that I was not on the same level as Notch was Beep Beep.
Okay. I need to respond to a comment that Duffman2 just made. He says, Flex Tales, play Carry On.
What's that?
I beat it.
Whoa.
I forgot to put it on the list.
Is that something someone recommended to you?
No.
Oh, got it.
Actually, it was something that showed up on Game Pass, and I watched a quick video of it, and I'm like, this seems like a cool idea.
Huh.
It's Metroid.
Yeah.
But from the perspective of the Metroid. So imagine like a game where you play as the Thing.
That's cool.
So you just play as this viney
beast. That's basically like Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
Yeah, but way more viney and like gruesome. I don't know what the
Gruesome.
word. Yeah.
Grizzly.
What? Visceral. It's very visceral because like you're just this red meaty. You're like a carry-on thing, but it's really cool game. You can beat it. I beat it in like 3 hours.
Whoa.
Really fast. But that's not saying it's not good. It's great. It's a great Game Pass game actually if you have Game Pass. But it's neat because you start off as this just little red squiggly the Thing. And you can just pull things and eat them. You pull like the humans and you eat them. But then later on, you get more powers and you grow and have to solve some puzzles.
That's cool.
And you're basically just becoming the final boss. It's so good. It's so short. It's so sweet. And the graphics are like perfectly pixelated.
Wow.
I really enjoyed it. Good game.
That's a good game.
Good game.
We also want to... We have so many things that we want to do.
So many things.
We wanted to do a series of videos where we recommend games that we like to play together because we're always looking for multiplayer games, either for the two of us or for a bigger group as well. Anyway, you know, what can we do?
What can you do?
What else is on the
We
list?
also wanted to do a video series where we took these inanimate figures and put them against cardboard backgrounds and tell a story with them. But that never happened.
I'm working on it. I have other things I want to do. I also wanted to do some vegan cooking videos for people that want some good recipes. I also wanted to show off my antique collection. I could go show off my glassware right now as a preview. If you guys want to see it, I only know 2 people in the chat that want to see it. I'm calling it in my head what their names are. I'm going to see if I'm right.
I know who one of them is.
I know 2 of them. But what else is on the list? I think that's about it, right?
I think we've cleared the list.
Oh my gosh. Whew. Pew!
Yeah.
So that is like how many months?
Like 3 months.
So how is it streaming on YouTube as opposed to Twitch? Oh my gosh, Rhea says I need recipes. Yay! And John Hunter says I want to see it. Okay, I'm gonna go get it really quick. And while Flex talks about how things were on YouTube versus Twitch,
So from my perspective, things were great on YouTube because I didn't have to do nearly the amount of setup and work that I used to have to do with Twitch, which is just a bad platform, apparently, I guess.
Okay, I want to show these because they're
Emerald says so much better. Pyle says way better than Twitch.
So much better?
Ryu says it's great, no stutter or anything.
Wow, I'm shocked. So
Resvergram
way
says,
better.
show me dim spoons, but I think that's more for you, less for me.
Okay, they're actually these glassware and they're
Android
really
says
beautiful.
resolution seems lower. We might be able to adjust that. I think that's a setting we can play with.
Oh, Russ is happy to see you guys back here. Thank you. And yeah, the emojis. So look, I don't think we're gonna go back to Twitch. Listen, I'm gonna be honest. For all of you who are regular viewers, Emerald Pyle, Weeb Bishop, Starkara, different person than Weeb, Songbird, and anyone who I'm forgetting, sorry, Laser Chalk. I don't see him here, but I know like we have a different Power Pitless says, why do you guys leave YouTube in the first place?
Great question.
Because we were on Twitch. We did all the Donkey Kong games on Twitch, and that was just crazy. I think we were just hopped up on brownies the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
It was hyper.
Yeah.
And then we did YouTube. I don't know why we left Twitch.
We became more mellow.
We did YouTube streaming. And then we were like, okay, we're going to try Twitch. Because I'll tell you why I left YouTube. Because YouTube had so much setup.
They just had a mind blow.
What's
of
that?
John Hunter.
What did he say?
John Hunter says, the only sad thing is I can't use the Mr. Bubs emote.
Oh.
Because he's laser chalk.
Oh my gosh, yes!
I miss Mr. Bubs.
Wow, doy.
We need to get Mr. Bubs
See,
as
but
like
laser chalk.
a thing that shows up when someone does something on our channel. It's like,
We'll get Mr. Bugs. Mr. Bubs. Yes, so I think we're back on YouTube.
I mean, it's so much easier for me.
Is it?
So much easier.
Than having to do Twitch. I know, because Twitch, it was just... But here's the thing. The quality of feedback we've been getting here, just the comments, are so much more high quality. Apart from our regular
Not
viewers,
one person has come in
more.
asking, are you couples?
But
give her
Twitch,
noogies.
On Twitch, we constantly get these weird random requests, and then they get banned immediately. So that hasn't happened here tonight. Oh, that's the Mr. Bub stand-in.
Little Bubs.
Yeah, so let me show these off because they're really pretty. Look at this. Like, this really beautiful foil on these glasses versus, like, the matte teal. And these are, like, mid-century modern, so... And they
Hot
came in
Sauce
this
Deluxe
little...
says give her noogies.
Yeah, give her nuggets. We did actually oblige to the noogies request, too.
We did. I gave you a noogie.
We did give noogies.
Yes.
But I think we're going to do that, so... Yeah. But yeah,
Okay.
so I have a ton of glassware and stuff that I want to show off.
You need to.
But that's only stuff that, 3 of you would like.
Oh, 3. There's 3 now.
John Hunter says how
This is
old are the
getting out of hand.
glasses? Yes. These are probably 1960s, I'll say. This whole thing was $42 plus the drink caddy. That's amazing. Emerald says, didn't you say that Twitch was supposed to be more casual and YouTube for the series videos? That's why you went to Twitch. Oh, maybe. Maybe that was it. I honestly can't even remember. There's so many reasons
There's
that
so
we
many.
have.
There's so many reasons. It's in the past. It's not like we said it live and it
I
was
just
recorded
feel
on
like
a video
we're
somewhere.
a Pyric, we're like
a vampiric entity.
We're like a vampiric entity.
Across dimensions. See,
We
the
just
vampires,
do
that's another
whatever.
dimensional entity.
But it's very timeless at the same time.
Yes.
Because not a lot has changed.
I mean, we still look the same.
We still
Our hair's
look the
longer.
same. We still look the same. We should show some videos
We
that we did.
have to make. Okay, so there's one video that we have to make. We
yes.
have not made videos in a long time.
No.
But there is one that we are absolutely
And we're talking
going to
about,
do
like,
a sequel
skits.
to. It's like 10 years old. You need to. If you have not seen, it's on YouTube, right?
Can we pull it up and show it here?
Not here, no.
Probably
It'd
not
be too
here.
difficult.
Yeah,
But you're on this channel.
It's on this channel.
Find
Just
our
look up
Pokemon Snap video.
Pokemon Snap. And that was like over 10 years ago. Oh, Emerald says YouTube stream has been so smooth. Okay. So we're just going to do that.
Feels good.
Thank you. Thanks for the feedback, guys. We'll definitely do that. And we'll try and do this every week because it's good for us. Oh, Anya says, little tip, make this stream private after it ends because they completely screw up your metrics. Oh, thank you. I will do that. See, I wouldn't even know stuff like that if it weren't for the comments, so thank you. I guess that's it, right?
I bet you it just keeps going.
Oh, maybe,
So maybe there's like some stuff there.
I'll do that for
Emerald
sure.
says, my Civic remix. I'm glad someone enjoyed my attempt at rap back in the day.
We used to do skits all the time.
Yes.
All the time.
Back when we had a lot more free time.
Yeah, I know. But there's so many... We've had such good opportunities to do skits, though, and stuff. And we're both because we come from theater backgrounds.
Yep.
And we're both very theatrical. So I'd like to do more skits. We can be like the biracial Key and Peele. Oh, Key and Peele are both biracial.
I was going to say.
The mixed couple Key and Peele.
Yeah, we could be like the biracial Batman and Robin.
Yeah, let's do that. That'll be fun, though, get back to skits and things like
Let's
that.
do it.
But how does this time work? 9:30, which is 6:30 on the West Coast for streaming. Let's just do that.
Let's do it.
Why not? Okay, so we're going to do this a thing every Friday at 9:30 throughout the week. If you have anything that you'd like us to talk about, just send it our way. And I'm so glad to see everyone's doing well and hope you're staying safe with everything that's going on. It's terrible. If anyone needs like someone to talk to or anything, send me a message on Discord, or if there's any way I can help you, let me know.
Stay safe, stay clean, wear a mask.
Yes.
Yes.
All of the above.
All of the above.
Yes. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. This is super fun, and I hope you all have a good rest of the evening. Bye. Okay, now we can't manually stop it, right?
So how do we stop it?
We have to stop. I have to get up and stop it.
You have to manually stop it.
I have to manually stop it.
That's it. It's over. The end.
There we go. Finish event. Oh, do I keep event? No, finish event.
Finish event.